So I'm in a pug as a healer, of course. It's easier to get pops as a healer, as pretty much everybody knows. So the trick's going to be to see if I can balance doing damage, healing, and keeping the tank up appropriately. Alright, he's taking a bit of damage, so deliverance, and I'm using the new skill I got, Healing Trance, which is it heals him while it channels. Okay, Asri's taking damage. Let's switch over to Asri. And I'll drop an AoE there to help the other DPS who's taking some damage. While that channel's going, I select her. Oh, tank's getting a little hurt. Go for the big heal with Deliverance. Pop my Force Potency, and I'm going to hit him with another one. And now an AoE. Not perfect, but no one died. Which is the goal. Ooh. Yes. That'll come in handy. Let's pop that in now, especially... Actually, never mind. I'm gonna have to pull some mods and stuff to get that to work. Seems like I'm in a decent group of people. There's a bad seed in the group. Alright, that was part A of the Flashpoint. Now we're doing part B. Leaped right at the guy that they had stunned. Moderately amusing. Right. And no one's really taking damage, so I'm just going to go ahead and DPS through this fight. Right, top him off. Top her off. Start with one of the things I like to do, start with an AoE while it's channeling, target the tank, and then once I'm satisfied with how much damage I'm doing, just start healing the tank. And I'm taking a little bit of damage, but nothing serious. I mean, yeah, it's preferable if the tank's taking all the heat, but if I take a little bit of damage, I'm really not worried about it. Especially since I have Force Mend, that little self-heal, which it works out about once every encounter. I can probably use that. So, yeah, this time I'm starting off with Force Mend, and I'm going to get this guy off my case. And let's see here. Yeah, I'll go for another buff Force Mend, so I can get in line of sighted. And go for a Benevolence. And a Rejuvenate. And we're done. Fortunately, I'm slightly over leveled for this Flashpoint, so keeping up with the healing really hasn't been much of an issue yet. If I did... I think the one closer to my level is Mandalorian Raiders. That one would probably be a little bit trickier. So in the end, the trick is no matter what, you start with Rejuvenate, and that'll increase the effectiveness of your other healing skills. Deliverance, it will activate faster. Benevolence, it'll cost less. And with Healing Trance, it has a chance of critting. So it'll basically heal the guy longer. Or for more, I should say. Had a moment of indecision there. I wasn't sure what I should do. But it looks like it's safe for me to do damage. At least for a little bit. If he's within, the tank's within about 75% or so, I'm not worried about his health. But that's my inexperience talking. Typically I'm running healer on the classes that can while I'm leveling, and then I pretty much don't do a lot of flashpoints after I hit max level. I mostly do PvP with the guild I'm in, which is Republic. Shameless plug for the guild there. But yeah, so I'm mostly doing flashpoints while I'm leveling. It's a handy way to get some extra experience, because not only do you get the experience from doing the flashpoint, but if you're doing the flashpoint dailies and potentially the weeklies, you'll get a couple of levels from those, like, very easily. So even if you love PvP and you want to just do that and nothing else, because that's your style of play, which is fine, I'd still suggest doing the flashpoint dailies, just because it's a lot of experience, and it's not really that much time you're spending doing them either. Alright, the running patrolman. Oh, alright, we're going to signal him out. He should go down very easily. Alright, that was nice and easy. Now then, where were we? Now, this guy's actually a pretty decent tank. A number of times he's pulled the mobs into one tight group, and when he does that, it makes it very easy to burn them all down. And I'm going to use my dots on this guy and then go back to healing. Just gives him a bit of a helping hand. Of all the classes, when they're set to healing, I do like you still have a decent amount of combat skills as a sage. You still have your disturbance, you've got mind crush, you've got weakened mind, and between all those skills, I mean, it only takes it's like a 2-second activation for mind crush. Weakened mind is an instant, so you can pop those two on a target, maybe the target that your tank is mostly focusing on. It won't do a ton of damage, but it's not going to hurt. And that first target that everybody's going after will go down very quickly. Now, if you're in a fight that's a bit more intensive and everybody's taking a lot more damage, you might be better off just healing. But again, like, no one's really taking a ton of damage, so I can be a little bit loosey-goosey with how I'm laying my skills out. Okay, this one's taking a little bit of damage. Let's heal Azri. Alright, stop him from casting. So the knockback the first time, and then the interrupt. The group, they're actually fairly polite, which is nice. Yeah, heal the droid, why not? And back to the tank. And using healing trance in between to fill time so I can get back to rejuvenate. Now a deliverance. He's pretty much topped off. So yeah, I'm gonna put both my dots. This guy's gonna go down very quickly. Nice and easy. Now this part I'm a little nervous about. I'm a little nervous just because there's a ton of ads in this fight, so potentially a number of people could be taking a lot of damage at the same time. Now ideally, because I mean that AoE, man, Force Quake, it's so good. I love using it. Let's get a bubble on him. Heal over time, and before someone starts taking a lot of damage, I will drop my AoE after all. And they get one guy's attention, but DPSers are actually healing for me and keeping them off me, which is nice. Okay, let's get a heal on Azri. Good. Throw my dots on the boss, and now we're gonna go back to the tank. Another bubble. Drop the AoE. Oh! Knockback. Alright, let's try the AoE again. And I think... Am I catching the boss with that? Maybe not. I pop myself heal. Whoa! Didn't see that coming. Alright, so he's pretty much in good shape. But I'll do another healing trance on him anyway. And apply my... Well, I was going to apply my dots on the boss. And give him a hand with these ads. Alright, and then we're going to go back to healing the tank. Once... There we go! There you are, sneaky guy. Go for deliverance. Those knockbacks, I gotta say, are very annoying. I'm getting line of sighted by the tank. I couldn't keep line of sight with the tank to save my life. Fortunately, he's okay. Let's give him a bubble. You get a bubble. And you get a bubble. Everybody gets a bubble. Alright, and because I have archaeology, we're going to take a little shortcut. I'm trying to remember, the last time I did this boss, I don't remember which character I was playing, but I had a little bit of a hard time with my ammo management. I think I was playing a scoundrel. Yeah, I kept having problems with my energy management, mostly due to inexperience. Hopefully this time I'll do better. Oh, nice. Tank sapping people, we can just slide right on by. Nice and easy. Yeah, those guys are... They're a bit on the tough side. It takes a while to hack them down. So, looks like we're about to get going. So, bubble. Bubble. And bubble. I'll probably put one on myself, too. Alright, so, while the bubble's still working, I'm going to put my dots on. And once I see someone taking damage... Actually, wait a minute, here we go. I didn't notice it. One of the things he does is... looks like the debuff went away already. But he puts this dot on people that does a fair amount of damage. And that's the big thing I need to be looking out for. Alright, so now it's on Azri. Nice. And now we avoid the flame, which I think is actually coming after me. I'm not sure how much longer this fire is going to stay on, so looks like it got me. Let myself heal, and it looks like he put the dot on me as well, but I was ready for it, and I got some backup from the healer. So let's get the tank going again. There we go, the dot is now on her. So force potency, so it'll hopefully crit, and I'm going to put a couple of deliverances on Powell. And Azri, let's top her off just to be safe. And I'm going to put my dots on the boss again, and go back to Azri. These guys are doing pretty good. He's already down to... Well, actually, I don't actually remember how low he is, but they're doing a good job so far. I think... Oh, that's right, I see the red trail, which means after Azri. He's back. So first thing, I'm going to put my dots on, and then I'm going to start healing Azri, because those fireballs will come right after her, and she doesn't seem to be moving out of the way. Now, I'm not sure how much of that was on me. You're supposed to kite those fireballs, and she just kind of took it. But live and learn. Alright, so to type that out, just in case. I've seen it happen a couple of times where people loot while someone's not in the room and they miss out, and it's not fair. So I just threw that message out there real quick, which it seems like they got it. So hopefully Azri can get back here, although she might not be able to without fighting through all those mobs by herself. I'm gonna put my dots on the boss again. Oh, she came and she brought company with her. Oh boy. That complicates things. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Yeah. Kiting all those people in here wasn't a good idea, so I'm gonna run to the edge here. That was amusing. Oh boy. Alright, so now that we're all back together, this should be easier. I couldn't type it in time. Let's see if I can do it from here. Azri's being really cool about it, which is nice. Some people, like, they'll make a mess of things and they'll be very unapologetic and downright rude about it. So Azri's cool with me. She apologized, and that's all there is to it. So we should be able to get just fine this time, and now I've learned from my mistakes to keep a better eye out for that dot that he puts on people, which I wasn't really looking for. Fortunately, it doesn't do a ton of damage, so I should be able to catch it this time. Alright, let's get a bubble going on everybody. Alright, the dot is on Pao, so we'll get some healing going on her. Excellent, she's good to go. Let's do that. I gotta memorize these skill names. I've only done healing for a little bit on this character. Okay, looks like the dot is on me. Alright, so the flame is coming after me, so I'm gonna try to draw them away from the group. Most likely the boss is going to spawn down the bottom, so I'm just going to go for a bit of a walk. Okay, he's back. And I should be able to... Yes! I can get some heals off from here. Excellent. Any minute now these flames should be going away. Perfect. Alright. We're back in business. Let's get Azri taken care of. Alright, nice. The commando's actually backing me up. So I'm going to do my dots, and I'm going to go back to healing. Making some good use of a buffed healing trance. I'm going to switch to the tank. And... Alright, so what I'm trying to do is when my mind crushes up, that's when I go back to putting dots on people. I should be able to get Azri essentially topped off. Okay, so rejuvenate. Start with rejuvenate, which is a slight heal over time. Oh, he's back. Alright, so I gotta get my heals ready on Azri just in case. I don't know if I'll be able to save her if those flames get to her, because I do a ton of damage. Fortunately, this time she ran. And now I'm going to put my dots. You know what? Azri's getting hurt again. And Force Mend, when buffed, is just what she needed. Let's get a bubble on the tank. Rejuvenate. I'm going to go for Deliverance this time. Top him off. Oh, Commando's in trouble. There we go. You gotta say, it's partially because it's a skill I just unlocked at 25, I think. But, yeah, I've been enjoying using Force Mend. Did I just run through that flame? Yep. I like it because it's this channel that heals fairly consistently. So, again, put the dots up. And right now I'm just looking to see who has the dot on them. And I must be... Oh, actually, maybe it wasn't the tank. Because Apollo looks like he's doing fine. Okay, it's the commando. Pow. Let's get her taken care of. Perfect timing. Force Mend just came off a cooldown. And yeah, that buff Force Mend seems to be just about enough to bring up. And I thought I saw that dot tick on somebody. Oh, it was me. Okay. I'll just use a Deliverance. That should be plenty. Yeah, that's enough. And this guy's about to drop. And we'll get a Deliverance on Pao. And we're done. Alright, Greed. That's for a Trooper. That's also for a Trooper. So I'm just going to greed on those. Make sure you didn't have any basic comms or anything like that. Collect this and we're done. Alright, so that's a basic walkthrough to see like some of the healing abilities you can do at level 26. It wasn't overly complicated, but it helps when you have a decently geared group. So it wasn't like they were dying overly quickly, and the only time we ran into trouble was when Asri accidentally triggered that other mob, but these mistakes happen. People are learning. It might have been some people's first time going through this dungeon. I forget who said it was their first time coming through. But yeah, easy peasy. See you guys later.